What's up, guys, and welcome back to the homestead. Today is chicken harvesting day. Seems like everybody on YouTube has a different way of doing this. We want to show you what we have found the absolute easiest way, fastest way to butcher a chicken.
Let's do it.
The first process is obviously to dispatch the chicken, and we're not going to show that just because it's like, you know, a little graphic. But once you have your chicken that is ready to go, take it out of your kill cone, and you're going to want to have water on an outside cooker that's heated up to about 145 degrees, 150 degrees, somewhere right in there. You take the entire bird and you soak it in that water. It's okay if a little spills over. You're just gonna soak it in this water, and I like to hold on to its feet and shake it around, and you want to go for about 30 seconds, sometimes a little bit longer. And what this is doing right here is this is loosening up the feathers and the skin, kind of starting to break them up just a little bit. And that is how the plucker works. You have to do this step to be able to pluck this chicken. Once your chicken is scalded, a nice little way to test it is you can pull those feathers out nice and easy like that. You know it's ready to go. So your next step after you scald it is to get the water going on your plucker. Put the chicken right in the plucker. And after the plucker, chicken comes out looking pretty good. Pretty much like store-bought chicken, just like a little bit of cleanup. Pull these feathers out. Then we bring it over to the table. Get ready to gut it. You need to make about 5 cuts on this chicken. Really easy cuts, guys. So the first thing we're gonna do is start by bending the foot over and taking the leg off at the knuckle. Liz and I don't save anything in particular. We haven't quite gotten to the level to be saving some of like the entrails, I guess. You can make really good stock with the feet, I know, but we're just composting them for now. So that was cut number 1, number 2 on each leg. Your third cut is going to be just at the top of the neck here, just a nice little slit. We're gonna get to that in a second. And your fourth cut is going to be right at the back of the breastbone here, and you want to be careful not to go all the way through the body cavity. You just need a small little hole in there, and that's it. And we'll go back to that one second here. So I'm gonna rip open up top by the breast, and what we're looking for is the craw. And this is like the first part of the digestive tract for the chicken. And while we're in here, we're also going to separate the esophagus. And I'm just pulling, guys, as you can see. I'm not using my knife at all. Pull both of the esophagus and the windpipe up. Just kind of detach that as much as possible there from this side. That looks pretty good. Then we're gonna come over to the back side here where we made our, let's see, fourth cut. I'm just gonna reach into that cut and rip everything open, guys. Really just like brute force, ripping the skin right open, and that exposes the body cavity. And you reach up inside of there and start ripping from the top. You're gonna get the heart, you're gonna get the liver. You're just kind of working your fingers around in there and detaching everything by hand. I'm not using any knife inside here. Right now I'm just working on the windpipe and the esophagus, getting all that pulled out. And then once you have it right here, you can kind of just work these guts out, guys, by hand, and everything's gonna mostly just fall right out just like that. And I like to get everything in one hand here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a V down to the underside of the vent here on this chicken. So we're gonna take our knife, just kind of take our time. Nice sharp knife is good. We've been doing a couple chickens, so this one isn't as sharp as it should be. And we come over to this side, make sure everything's out of the way there. We can just rip the rest out, and now we have, let's see, there's the heart, we got the liver. I don't really know all the parts, but we're not saving any of this. Once you're to here, you kind of just want to clean the bird up a little bit more, get the rest of the esophagus out. You want to not forget the lungs. The lungs are kind of really stuck inside to the rib cage here. So you kind of got to use your fingers and dig around up in there. You can pull most of the lung out. That's one. Get the other side out here. Lungs are a little difficult. They kind of like break apart on you as you're reaching up in there. Just kind of do the best you can. Get out most of the big pieces. Body cavity is clean. We're gonna flip the chicken over, and Liz and I just cut the whole tail right off. The reason we do that is there's a gland in there, and we don't want that. The final step to the whole process is to take some water and just kind of clean everything off. Sometimes you get a few feathers, stragglers. You want to clean those up. It's much easier to do right now. And in the end, that is how you clean a chicken, pretty much start to finish. And the last final step is have your cooler full of cold water. Toss them right in. Once we bring them up to the house, we're going to put a bunch of ice mixed in with the cold water to keep these cool for about 3 days. And that's when we're going to heat the water back up and process these chickens into bags so they can go in the freezer. So we'll catch you then. All right guys, so about 2 days later, we've had our chickens in an ice bath this entire time, just resting, letting that rigor mortis kind of break down, almost like starting to brine the chicken as well before we bag them to put them in the freezer. And as you can see, we have the chickens up on our drying racks with the bags already over them. These drying racks are really, really nice, guys. So this is just 1-inch PVC. And I actually took this idea from another YouTuber. They work really, really well, and they're also great for slipping the bags right over the chickens. So that's really cool. We're using these plastic shrink bags. The way these work is once they're over the chicken, you take a straw that goes inside the bag. The purpose of the straw is to let all the air out while you dunk the bag in boiling water, essentially boiling water. The water is about 190 degrees. You dip the bag in the water. The bag compresses, lets all the air out, gives the chicken like a nice finish, professional look, as well as protecting it from the freezer while you freeze it, you know, for up to a year or so. So that's what we're doing right now. Once you have the bags dipped, all you're gonna do is put a zip tie right around that, and that seals the bag off, ready to go in the freezer. This is actually one we've had in the freezer for a long time now, so we appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like content like this, consider subscribing down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.